When dogs wag their tails, are they signaling happiness? The answer might surprise you. Dogs don't just wag their tails in one way, each type of wag carries its own message. Tail wagging is not only a sign of happiness, but it is truly one of the most powerful forms of communication in the dog world, helping them convey emotions and intentions not just to their fellow four-legged friends but also to us. Isn't that amazing? Like young children, puppies are not born knowing the meaning of tail wagging. However, when puppies are about a month old, they begin to realize that they need to communicate with their mother and siblings in the pack. It is at this time that they learn to wag their tails to express basic needs such as wanting to play or being hungry. You can imagine these tiny puppies wagging their tails when they're tired from playing, or when they feel hungry and seek care from their mother. These simple yet heartwarming actions mark the beginning of their journey of communication. So, let's dive deeper into their special language through the different meaningful tail wags. And don't forget to click the subscribe button on Dog Facts Fun to make sure you don't miss any exciting videos that will help you learn more about the animal kingdom and our beloved four-legged companions. You definitely won't want to miss the next part, where we'll explore many surprising facts about your furry friend. Fast and high tail wagging. When a dog wags its tail quickly with the tail raised high, it is one of the clearest signs that the dog is in a state of alertness or excitement. A fast tail wag indicates enthusiasm, and the dog may be preparing to face a new situation or is watching something it finds interesting. For example, when you bring out the dog's favorite toy, it will wag its tail quickly and high, showing excitement and a desire to participate in the game. This is also a common behavior when a dog sees a stranger or another dog that it is curious about. Psychologically, when a dog wags its tail quickly and high, it may be a sign of confidence or anticipation of something exciting. A raised tail helps the dog show its readiness to face a situation, or it may be preparing for action. Particularly when the dog is standing with its tail wagging quickly in a high position, this can also indicate that it feels in control and can easily handle any situation that arises. For example, when you take your dog for a walk and they meet another dog, they may wag their tail quickly and high to show interest and a welcoming attitude. However, this does not necessarily mean they want to communicate or make friends immediately. A fast tail wag can be a sign of openness, but the dog still needs time to assess the situation and decide whether it wants to befriend the other dog. This is part of the dog's natural instincts when it faces unfamiliar objects. Fast and high tail wagging can also occur when a dog wants to engage in an activity, play, or join in a conversation, clearly showing communication between the owner and the pet. A typical example is when you approach the house, and your dog recognizes you. It may wag its tail quickly and high, showing excitement at seeing you again. For the dog, this is an action expressing joy, anticipation, and readiness for a fun meeting or activity. However, it is important to pay attention to the context and surrounding factors to correctly understand the dog's mood. In some cases, a dog may wag its tail quickly and high when it senses a threat, even though the action may appear friendly. Therefore, closely observing other signs such as eye contact, body posture, and the dog's overall attitude is essential to correctly interpret its emotions. Tail wagging to the right. When a dog wags its tail to the right, it is a clear sign of happiness, comfort, and confidence. This is a positive expression, indicating that the dog feels safe, friendly, and has no intention of being aggressive. Dogs will wag their tail to the right when they encounter people or animals they feel comfortable with and perceive no threat. For example, if you have just returned home and your dog wags its tail to the right, it means they are excited to see you, feel at ease, and enjoy your presence. Psychologically, wagging the tail to the right reflects positive stimulation from the left hemisphere of the brain, which governs positive emotions like affection, joy, and friendliness. Studies have shown that a dog's left brain hemisphere is linked to pleasant emotions, such as comfort and safety. When a dog wags its tail to the right, it shows confidence and a lack of anxiety or fear. This is a signal that dogs use to communicate with humans and other animals in their environment. Wagging the tail to the right is not just a sign of happiness but also shows that the dog feels very safe and trusting in the situation. For example, when you take your dog for a walk and they meet your friends or a dog they are familiar with, wagging their tail to the right indicates that the dog feels very comfortable and is open to interacting with these people or animals without concern. The psychology behind a dog wagging its tail to the right is an affirmation that the dog feels friendly and has no intent to be aggressive. This is a clear signal that the dog poses no threat and wants to show a welcoming, friendly attitude. A dog will wag its tail to the right when it feels free and relaxed, as though expressing affection and love toward the people or animals with which it has a positive relationship. Low and slow tail wagging. When a dog wags its tail low and slowly, it usually reflects uncertainty, anxiety, or caution. This type of tail wagging occurs when a dog encounters a situation that makes it feel uneasy, uncomfortable, or unsure about the object or person in front of them. For example, if a dog meets a stranger or another dog while walking, it may wag its tail low and slowly, signaling that it is showing caution and hesitation. The dog's psychology in this situation is one of alertness. A dog wags its tail low and slowly when it is unsure if the object or person in front of it poses a threat. This is a sign of anxiety or uncertainty about what to do next. Sometimes, dogs may wag their tails slowly and low when they sense a potential threat, and they may be trying to assess the danger and decide how to respond. For example, if you take your dog to the park and another dog approaches, your dog might wag its tail low and slowly to show hesitation. The dog is trying to assess the situation and does not want to cause any conflict, but at the same time, it feels uneasy and is not completely comfortable. A slow tail wag suggests that the dog is uncertain and might need time to get used to the new situation or person. When a dog wags its tail low and slowly, its psychology is one of anxiety, hesitation, and caution. It is unsure about the object or situation and wants to avoid taking any risky actions. This could also be a sign that the dog is fearful or lacks confidence. However, it's important to note that low and slow tail wagging is not always a sign of fear. Sometimes, it is simply the dog expressing discomfort or needing time to evaluate the situation in a safe manner. Tail wagging tilted to the left. When a dog wags its tail tilted to the left, it is a clear sign that the dog is feeling anxious, scared, or tense. According to scientific studies, when dogs wag their tails to the left, they are using the right hemisphere of the brain, which controls negative emotions such as fear, anxiety, and tension. This response may occur in situations where the dog feels threatened or uncomfortable. It is the type of tail wagging you might see when a dog senses a potential danger, even if it's just a minor change in the environment around them. For example, when a dog meets a new dog or an unfamiliar person, a left-tilted tail wag can be a sign of anxiety. The dog may not be ready to approach or interact and feels uneasy about the new situation. This is a behavior showing hesitation and heightened alertness, indicating that the dog does not feel safe and needs time to assess the situation. The psychology of a dog wagging its tail to the left is a natural instinctive response when faced with a potential threat. While a left-tilted tail wag may not be a clear sign of aggression, it shows that the dog is uncomfortable and may need protection or distance from the object or person it is facing. This is especially apparent when a dog is in a tense situation, such as when encountering an unfamiliar animal or person it does not recognize. Tail wagging to the left is not necessarily a sign of extreme fear, but it certainly indicates a level of tension. The dog is reacting to its surroundings by keeping its distance and may be more cautious. This can be related to survival instincts, where the dog feels the need to be alert to changes or the appearance of new elements in its environment. Stiff tail and slow wagging. When a dog wags its tail slowly and the tail becomes stiff, rigid, and inflexible, it is a sign of hostility or aggression. This type of tail wagging suggests that the dog may be feeling threatened, uncomfortable, or uneasy. A slow wagging tail combined with a stiff tail is a warning signal indicating that the dog might be preparing to deal with a situation it perceives as dangerous and could react strongly if it feels necessary. A typical example of this behavior is when a dog encounters another dog that it is not familiar with or does not like. The dog might begin to wag its tail slowly and stiffly, signaling that it does not want to be disturbed and wants to protect its space. A stiff tail and slow wagging represent uncertainty about the next move, but it is also a clear sign that the dog may choose to act defensively or even aggressively if it feels threatened. The dog is likely alert and preparing for a situation that could escalate if not handled appropriately. The dog's psychology in this situation is one of preparation for protective action. A stiff tail is a sign that the dog feels the need to control the situation and does not want to be attacked or invaded. Slow wagging could be a warning that the dog is uncomfortable and may be ready to react if the situation becomes dangerous. Sometimes, this is how dogs express their territorial control, clearly signaling that they do not want to share their space with anyone. When a dog wags its tail in this manner, it might be trying to protect itself or is on high alert regarding an object it does not trust. For example, when you bring a strange dog close to your dog, it may wag its tail slowly and stiffly, signaling that it does not want immediate contact. Sometimes, dogs may keep their tail straight and combine it with slow wagging to indicate that they do not want close interaction or to be disturbed. This behavior can be explained from the perspective of territorial and self-protective instincts. Dogs, like other animals, tend to protect their space and well-being. When they sense a threat, whether from a human or another animal, slow and stiff tail wagging is how they express their defensive nature and readiness to face danger. In many cases, slow and stiff tail wagging is a warning. It's the dog's way of indicating that it may resort to forceful measures to protect itself. This can lead to strong reactions such as barking loudly, attacking, or trying to escape the situation. Therefore, if you see your dog or another dog wagging its tail in this manner, be cautious and avoid forcing them into contact with people or animals they are uncomfortable with. Through the various tail wagging behaviors, we can see that dogs are not simply reflexive animals, but truly have complex and subtle emotions and reactions. Each type of tail wagging carries a profound message, from expressing joy and friendliness to displaying alertness, anxiety, or hostility. Understanding these signals helps us communicate more effectively with our four-legged friends, while also fostering a friendlier and safer environment for both the owner and the dog. Dogs use their body language, especially tail wagging, as a powerful way to convey their emotions and intentions. Therefore, learning how to interpret these signals is key to understanding and taking the best care of them.